Thank you all you big, beautiful brains that are here this afternoon. We sure appreciate you being here. My name is Tony Gonzalez, as she said, and I was born in Goleta, California, just a hop stop from here. I have spent most of my life, though, living in Santa Maria, California. I'm 51 years old, and I'm proud to say that I'm living my best life diagnosed with early onset dementia with probable Lewy bodies. This disease looks very different when you're under 65. It destroys careers, relationships, and every day it robs me of my memories slowly and randomly. I stand here today to tell you that this disease does not define who I am, and I have chosen to fight back. My journey started a few years ago. My family and I noticed a few signs that something was wrong. I found myself having difficulty with my work responsibilities, and others were noticing too. My family, my friends, coworkers, and even clients, all were making excuses for my actions. At the time, we thought my forgetfulness was due to my being overweight, stressed, and tired. You see, at the time, I was over 200 pounds heavier. My first realization that something was seriously wrong was something happened while I was coming home from work. I was in my hometown of Santa Maria. I was in my car on a road that I traveled thousands of times, but I got lost. I had no idea where I was, where I had been, or even where I was going. All I could remember was to call my wife Corey. Another ironically moment was when I was at home with my family. I came in from the barbecue pit, and I saw an open package at the kitchen table. It was addressed to me. I was waiting for some special package of my son's socks. They weren't his socks. They were American flag socks that he was going to wear at his wedding. I reached in and pulled out my new pair of fun socks, and I excitedly showed them to my family. They looked at me as if my head had blown off. I said, "What's wrong?" They said, "You had just did that 5 minutes before." I spent the next couple of years bouncing from my general practitioner in Santa Maria to UCLA and then finally to UCSF. It was a struggle to be heard by the medical professionals. I was also dealing with the insurance company, who by their standards made it much more complicated due to my age not aligning with my symptoms. I was fighting the stigma that dementia only affects people over 65 and at a later stage of their life. I literally was told by my medical professionals that I was too young to have dementia. We continued to seek out a diagnosis with numerous MRIs, a spinal tap, sleep studies, 2 neuropsych exams, where I might have one more since then, a CT scan. I can't even count for the numerous times that the doctor gave me their simple cognitive exam, and I failed each time. I'm very proud to say that in an effort to get healthier and to eliminate worry that sleep apnea was causing my memory loss, I have lost over 190 pounds. Unfortunately, my issues persisted, and the weight loss stayed. My wife and I decided that although we had no control over what was happening to my brain, we could have some control over some things. So we made more changes. My wife made a new normal and a way to live a good quality life with my disease. My wife, Corey, by profession, is a special education teacher. She researched brain exercises, changed our diet to the new brain healthy Mediterranean diet. She set up safe zones in my house for me to retreat with brain activity exercises like coloring, word vines, and puzzles. I also joined a neuroboxing class for individuals who are living with Parkinson's and other neurodegenerative diseases. I really did enjoy these classes and exercises, but it was very depressing as most of the other attendees were in a much later stage and age. We also started a new exercise routine, and we're now up to walking at least 3 times a week, or 3 miles several times a week. Technically, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life, except for my brain. Due to my family history and my culture, I really had no way of knowing that there had been a history of neurological disease or issues in my family. I did know that my grandmother had passed away from complications due to dementia, and there were other family members who showed signs, but they were never addressed. Our Hispanic culture was raised in a way that didn't understand this disease, and it was always dealt with shame and secrecy. I live in a very beautiful part of this state. My hometown in Santa Maria sits between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Unfortunately, in order for me to get the quality of care that I need, the new tests, and to be part of the latest studies, we have to travel to one of these cities. Living with this disease makes it very hard to travel. And then you throw in the COVID years, well, I can tell you, the last 5 years of this journey to diagnosis have been very difficult for my wife and I. As of today, I'm still struggling to find a neurologist that's right for me, who I'm comfortable with. I am enrolled in the LEAD study at UCSF for research and any potential clinical trials to hopefully slow the progression of my disease.